Hello, and welcome to the Smart Injury Doctors Podcast, the injury market's top program for doctors, lawyers, and insurers who want to gain greater insight on how to improve patient recovery results and deliver better services in the U.S. injury market. Please welcome your host, Dr. Jeffrey Allen Kronk.
All right, doctors, what I want to talk about this morning is where do you want to be in 2024? So, it's always at the end of the year, it's time to kind of look back and go, what did you accomplish and what could you do better? And what do you want to be doing in 2024? So I know, for most practices, the injury market is an interesting market. To me, it's the best market that there is. But a lot of practices, myself included, don't necessarily want to be a complete injury practice. That's because the science behind injury is also the science behind chronic pain. So you can build the largest injury practice or the largest chronic pain practice. And let's look at chronic pain. I mean, the leading cause of chronic pain and disability is the lumbar spine. The fourth leading cause is the cervical spine. And the sixth leading cause is a condition caused from the cervical spine most commonly, which is called headaches. So, low back pain, neck pain, and headaches are the number 1, number 4, and number 6 leading cause of chronic pain and disability, depending on who you read. So you want to, kind of look back and go, where do you want to be? In my experience, where I would want to be is I would want to be heavy into the injury space, the acute injury space, for the right reasons. Right? The right reasons to me are because I want to save lives. I want to save people from being in chronic pain. I want to save them. I know that my practice or the practices that I'm going to educate and the doctors that I'm going to help are going to be some of the top practices in the country. That are places where if you're injured, you want to go to. That's how you want to build your center. You want to build it based on results. Everything around results. Man, if you get results in the injury market, you are going to make a lot of money. You're going to make a lot of money because it's what people need. 55-60% of the people, or even higher, that are in injuries to the spine, have injuries to the spine, don't fully recover. They're chronic. So if this year there's 4 million injury patients in car accidents, 2 million of them are going to be chronic. So there's 2 million being made every single year, right? But who can actually assist them? Well, the people that can assist them are the people that understand the underlying cause of the problem. And that's where you want to get to. You want to get to an understanding of what I want. I want to help doctors basically understand that if you understand injury work, you understand chronic pain work, and they're one and the same. You could have the largest headache clinic in the world if you wanted to, just based on upper cervical injury information, craniocervical junction injury information, simple x-ray studies. Not stuff that you have to have a medical legal approach to, simple stuff. Very, very simple stuff. But the other thing that I would have in my practice, and I had, is a system, an internal system where you're going to develop referrals. Now, how do you do that? You got to have materials. You got to have materials to hand to your patient to read. You first have to understand what it is that makes you unique. And the biggest thing that makes most providers unique is understanding the injuries themselves, being the best at understanding the injuries themselves. In the spine world, there's only 3 spine injuries. You either broke it or you got a connective tissue injury, and those are twofold. One is excessive motion for the spinal support ligaments, and the other is disc herniation, and most of the time there's combinations thereof. But remember, in the craniocervical junction, or a lot of times in the upper cervical, there are no disc herniations. There are basically 5 disc herniations, 3 in the cervical spine and 2 in the lumbar spine that everybody makes a big issue about. And I agree, they can be a big issue, but they're not the main issue. The spinal support ligaments around these discs are the main issue. And any doctor that understands that understands both acute and chronic pain. You also understand, if you understand that, you understand the cervical profile in a mild traumatic brain injury or in a concussion type situation. Call it a traumatic brain injury. Take out the word mild. The biggest thing that's missing in the traumatic brain injury space are providers that understand the cervical profile, because the cervical profile is the most important profile, right? You got vestibular balance profile, you got ocular vision profile, you've got the profile of cognitive profile, you got the migraine profile, you got the anxiety profile. And then you got the cervical profile. Now, what does the cervical profile cause? It causes the vestibular profile, causes the ocular profile, causes the migraine profile, causes the cognitive profile, and leads to the anxiety profile. It is the base profile. It's the most important profile. And understanding that, all I have to do is understand spinal injuries, and I understand that profile. It's the easiest profile to understand. So, but I got to have a system in place. I got to have something that educates my people on this. And so that basically I can hand out materials. We do this in the Smart Injury Doctors program. I got to have materials. Then I got to have language and communication systemized to communicate to my patients so that I'm generating internal referrals. Myself and my staff are generating internal referrals. And what am I really doing? I'm just throwing out lifelines. I'm just throwing out lifelines. And quite honestly, why I'm throwing out lifelines? Because I know there's really crappy care out there the patient is going to be in a sea of. And I know that my centers are going to provide the highest quality of care because we understand the condition. And we're confident about what we understand. And we know that simple X-ray analysis can pick up these conditions, no problem. But I'm going to have information that explains that. I'm going to have automated email sequences set up that helps an injured patient to understand what to do so that they can improve their own recovery results. They can do things for themselves that improve their results. And I'm going to have language that, again, communicates exactly what makes me unique. I'm also going to have materials that I can externally put out into the environment so that people know who I am and what I'm about. So I'm going to have marketing materials all tied to this simple message. And I'm going to keep putting that simple message out over and over and over again. I'm going to do that same simple message of what makes me unique with lawyers. And I'm not just going to go to lawyers and say, hey, we're good, or hey, we're good at the documentation, or oh my gosh, we can increase your claim value, which I highly recommend you not do. I'm not going out with the same old garbage that's been going out for the last 20 years. Like, I got something new. I got something fresh. I got something that's disruptive, that's going to cut across what these markets are all about. And I have something that is of high value to the attorney, to the medical doctor, to the Kiwanis Club member, to the Rotary Club member, to a church member. I've got something valuable, and I'm excited to talk about it. Because what am I doing? I'm throwing out lifelines. I'm saving lives. That's what I'm doing, right? And when you really, truly believe you're doing that, marketing is a piece of cake. It's fine. A lot of doctors don't believe they're doing that. That's why marketing is hard. They don't believe enough in what separates them out. So marketing becomes hard. If you knew, absolutely knew, that you were saving lives and that as much as you were out there, you were saving more lives, you would be marketing a lot. You'd be marketing a lot. So what do you got to do to get that kind of an attitude? You got to join a group that has that kind of an attitude. You got to get aligned with doctors. I mean, we have over in our Smart Injury Doctors program now, we have over 500 doctors in this program. I believe it's one of the fastest growing communities in chiropractic right now. And so, I'm very proud of that fact, but we have materials. Right? We have materials to go out. Hey, look, for every 1,000 patients in your database, there's 120 injury incidents in that database every year, but you're not communicating to them. You're not communicating materials back to them. What should they be aware of? Number one thing they should be aware of is going into a doctor that doesn't understand their injuries. Oh my God, you might as well, give them the future death wish of chronic pain. Right? Or send them into a mill, or send them into somebody who's so much more interested in just what they can bill as opposed to what kind of results can they get. I don't care how much you bill as long as you get great results. So I'm one that says that the spinal injury doctor should be the highest paid doctor in the market, bar none, but not if you can't get results. If you're crappy in results, you shouldn't even be in this market. Right? And in the future with AI and with marketing and marketing AI, the crappy providers will be ruled out. I mean, there'll be AI that basically is able to produce for a patient, what are your consistent results? How good are you? I don't care if you're pain management, chiropractor, physical therapist, surgeon, doesn't matter. People should know your results. How good are you? Are you in the middle of the bell curve? Are you the bottom of the bell curve? Are you the front of the bell curve? And the doctors that are in the front of the bell curve should be gold. So that's what you want to achieve. That's what we look at. That's what I want to achieve in 2024. Is I want to significantly improve. And sometimes significantly improve, you look at numbers, right? If you can measure something, you can improve it, right? Because you can tell if you're improving it or not. So it's in your numbers. You know, you want to have a system in place that allows a staff member to easily go out and interact with your local attorney community and disrupt the relationships, and do it in a way that is basically just the cost of the employee. It's free. You don't have to market. You don't have to spend money marketing. You can. And at some point, it is smart to do. I'm a big one on marketing, and marketing is investing to me. But at first, you can do these things, and all they cost you is your employees' time. And they're the simplest things to get involved with so that you can interrupt relationships and you can start to get noticed in the market. If you're not getting referrals, it's because you don't have any intention. You don't have any attention in the market. Nobody's giving you any attention. Attention tracks referrals. So if you're looking and saying, well, gosh, I need more referrals, you need to figure out how you need to get more attention in the market. And then what do you have that the market should pay attention to? You know, what do you actually have? So 2024, our Smart Injury Doctors program will be the largest program in the market, bar none. We have a fast-moving movement. I would call it a movement. And we're just starting to find our voice with it. And our voice is our doctors are going to get better results, both short-term and long-term, because they understand the injuries. They're going to be better for the insurer and the attorneys because their documentation is going to be good and clean. And they're a win-win for everybody. They're a win for the insurer. They're a win for the patient. They're a win for the attorney. They're a win for the doctor. They're a win for the doctor's staff. The win-win-win. Win all the way across the board. That's where you want to be in 2024. So the 4 things: 1, you got to have something unique. 2, you got to have an internal system to explain it to your people what makes you unique so they can explain it to others so you get a lot more internal referrals. 3, you got to have a system to go out and materials already pre-built for you to go out and market to your local market. And 4, you got to have a very cost-effective way, practically free way to get attention in the market so that the people, key attorneys, key medical doctors, key people will notice you and start to give you attention. That's what you want to look to create in 2024. And it's not easy to create. For me, it's taken me, at least 6 or 7 years now to really get this down, really get it grooved in. And we are really grooved in now for 2024. So if you're interested in taking a look at our program in 2024, give us a call, 800-940-6513, or you can see us on our website, smartinjurydoctors.com. Or we have a free Facebook user group if you want more information besides the podcast called the Smart Injury Doctors Practice Building Success Network. Get involved with us. Get involved with us. As you get involved with us, you're going to start to see more. You're going to start to see more work. You'll start to see more injury work. Doctors, I thank you for 2023. We had a very successful 2023. Our numbers were higher. Everything was higher this year, which was good. And I'm looking forward to working with you in 2024. Have a good New Year's, and I look forward to delivering more content on the next podcast.
You've been listening to the Smart Injury Doctors Podcast, the #1 audio production show for professionals in the U.S. injury market that want to deliver better injury services to the patients, clients, or insureds they serve. If you like what you heard today, please leave us a review and don't forget to join us on our next program.